Yo, yo, yo! My name is Chris Gongora, and with me as always is my trusty little pal Jaz. So I've been extremely lucky to be able to have seen a pretty cool list of bands, at least in my opinion. There's nothing like your first though. I'll always remember my first big concert. It was at the now legendary Pearl Jam show where they played at the Empire Polo Club. The concert's success is significant today because it was the inspiration for what is now Coachella. Anyway, Eddie Vedder was so good up there. He had the whole audience in his grips with his voice and his stage charisma. It was an awesome sight to behold. I was a little nervous because it was my first time to be submersed in a big, huge crowd at a rock concert. And I heard that it can get a little crazy and that you could lose your friends. So Pearl Jam came on, started with a slower song, and the collective audience started to sway a little bit. I thought to myself, if this is what people meant about being careful because of the crowd, then I'm good. The song ends, and then I'll never forget. Eddie Vedder says something like, "Y'all take care of yourselves out there." And then they ripped into the first chords of Go, which may be one of my favorite Pearl Jam songs. As soon as everyone heard those distorted guitars and that drum beat, the entire crowd just started moving. I was literally swept off my feet and placed in different areas of the place. I totally lost my friends. I had never experienced anything like that before. It was rock and roll on a grand scale. I bring up that short story because I saw what an awesome frontman was in Eddie Vedder. So today, I thought we'd pick the top 4 frontmen of all time. For this particular list, I'm talking about the singers who are a part of a band, where everybody has equal billing. I'm not talking about the solo artists, which we'll probably get to in a couple weeks. Alright, so the top 4 frontmen of all time, according to me and my dog. Number 4 on my peg was in a band where every musician was top notch. As a matter of fact, the drummer in that band was my number 1 rock drummer of all time. I'm talking, of course, about Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. His wail, his power, his rawness. He was a rock god. Well, number 3 on my list is the Lizard King. I'm talking about Jim Morrison, Mr. Mojo Rising. He was wild. He was unpredictable. He was also a part of the 27 Club, which I'm pretty fascinated about, so we'll probably talk about that in the coming weeks as well. Number 2 on my peg is still around and fronting the same band that he started in 1862. At least it feels like it's 1862. It's 1962. I'm talking about Mick Jagger from the Rolling Stones. Jagger had swagger. He's a living legend that bleeds rock and roll. Little side note, in one of my latest bass videos, I actually pay homage to the Stones by playing an almost all bass cover of Paint It Black, which is easily in my top 20 list of songs. If I ever get pressure to go sing karaoke, it's my go-to song. Alright, number 1 on my peg goes to Freddie Mercury. His voice, his 4-octave range, his natural ability to completely own every stage that they played on, including Wembley Stadium, where on July 13th, 1985, Queen, with Mercury leading the way, gave one of the greatest live performances of all time for Live Aid. He was confident. He was mesmerizing. So that's it. My top 4 frontmen of all time. Robert Plant, Jim Morrison, Mick Jagger, and Freddie Mercury. Agree? Disagree? Leave me a comment, let me know who's on your list. Leave me a comment and suggest some things to talk about. Jaz and I will be back next week with some more bullshit to talk about. Isn't that right, Jesse? Isn't that right, Jesse? Right, Jesse? Right, my little Jesse? Right, my little Jesse? Sit! Sit! Jazzy, sit! Good girl! Yay! Yay! Good girl.